African Student Voices is your passport to in-depth conversations about the welfare and well-being of students across higher education institutions in Africa and our society. Join us as we bring to light the concerns and perspectives of African students. We are not just talking, we are also empowering the future leaders of Africa to be informed and responsible. African Student Voices is your source of education about Africa's developmental strategies and blueprints. We are also dedicated to shaping the minds of Africa's youth. I am Jemima Daladem-Duche, your host. Be a part of the dialogue every Friday at 10 o'clock GMT, where we engage with students and various university stakeholders to address the issues that matters most and illuminate the path forward. African Student Voices, we educate, empower, and elevate. University education is meant to prepare students for the future, but what happens when what is being taught belongs to the past? Across many institutions, we realize that sometimes courses take a while before they are being refined to meet the current job demands. Today, we are here to discuss outdated curriculum in universities and its effect on the job market. My name is Jemima Daladem-Duche, and you're welcome to African Student Voices, your favorite student show on the African continent. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, I will introduce our guests. Do not also forget to follow the conversation on our social media handles, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be right back. You're welcome back from the break, and if you just joined us, this is African Student Voices on AAU TV, and we're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. So today, just like we said, we are talking about outdated curriculum in the universities and how it affects the demands of the job market. But before then, I'll give my guest a minute to introduce themselves. I'll start with you, sir.
Okay, great. So I'm John Dazmensa. I'm the Director for Policy Plan and Research, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you.
I am Esther Yaira Mensah. I work with the Association of African Universities as a TV producer and host.
Right.
My name is Abdelmanaf Suleimana. I work here at the AAU as an IT officer and a project officer for the Universal Acceptance Project.
Okay, you're all welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I know you are from GIMPA. You just completed a course with GIMPA,
Yes,
and you're also a past student of Unimark IG.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to state that clear because of the topic we want to discuss. So yeah, we are talking about outdated curriculum when it comes to the university, and then going into the job market, what you experience. But then let me come right down into your experience as student. How was teaching for you? I'll start with you, Sule. How was teaching for you? Looking at the course you study and how practical or theory was it for you?
A lot of the times, students, we all complain that the courses are not practical enough, but depending on the program you're offering, I did my master's in digital forensics and cybersecurity. One would expect to be in a lab with forensic devices and having practical sections. However, the course was a bit theoretical. The practical version of it was going to the police headquarters to see how their cybersecurity lab there is. But most times, we don't get the practical aspect of it. We just do the theory in class, you write exams, and then it's up to you as a student to go online, do some online labs to be able to get the practical aspect of it. That's been my experience. But on that aspect of it as well, there are certain courses that students take that perhaps we think are not beneficial to us. For instance, at UPSA, where I did my bachelor's, as an IT student, one wonder, why do I need to study accounting? Why do I need to study the global dimension of business? Why do I need to study mathematics? But I'm here working as an IT officer and a project officer. And then I'm having to do some bit of accounting, and I'm having to liaise with other people from the globe. So somehow it's 50-50. On one hand, there's problem. On the other hand, it's beneficial in its aspect of it. Yes.
Okay. So if I'm getting you clearly, your current master's program didn't have
a lot of practicality when it comes to what you study?
Yes.
Okay. Esther, what has it been for you?
I would say a blend. It wasn't too much more. Let's say, let's give it 60 or 70% theory, and then the other percentage for practical. Because I remember when in school they told us that we have to go study field reporting. You have to go to the communities to get the stories from there. Yes, I would say that part was a bit practical. And then in school, we are studying as journalists, and then we have to study what we call data journalism, how to interpret figures and to tell a compelling story. And you mentioned accounting, sometimes unrelated, but we are in a global world right now where almost everything is interconnected. And so I would say, they tried. They tried to give us as much practicals, but you see, the school system, the number of years you have to spend in school, or even the time, the credit time that is given, is not enough to cover for the things you actually want to learn. That is why I believe they add internships, so that at least they give you some time to go into the industry and then go and learn from there. So I think, they try.
So, Mr. Dazi, please, would you want to comment on that before I give you your main question?
Oh no, that's okay. This students talking about the experience in school, so that's fine.
Okay, so a 2025 research published by the University of Cape Town highlights that curriculum reform in many universities is often slow and bureaucratic. So, meaning changes take years and courses can become irrelevant before they are outdated. Now, let's talk about our curriculum when it comes to, what the universities study in their various, communities, and what goes into, setting up curriculums for the various universities. Yes.
Okay, so at any material point in time, curricula are developed to address specific situations in society. And before curricula are developed, the target groups have to be defined. Who are those that we want to train and for what purpose? Then once that is established, then you go into what kind of educational experiences you want to give to this person to equip the person well enough to respond to that situation you are targeting. So at every material point in time, curricular development is supposed to be very relevant in responding to specific issues in society. So I feel sometimes uncomfortable when there is a perception out there that some curricula are not relevant. Their relevance or irrelevancy of it might be dependent on market demands. Okay, the fact that the market is not demanding it now does not mean that it is not relevant. And of course, there are some programs that private entities will like to pursue because of the profits they gain from that. That's private universities. And there are some programs that government, knowing the importance of those programs for the development of the society, will stick to those programs even if students are not patronizing the program. You see, so when you go into a university, there are a lot of crop subsidy in the system because there are some programs that are dying, but the state wants to keep it alive, or the university wants to keep it alive because of its importance to society. Now, when these programs are developed, maybe at the time the problem was perceived and the curriculum was designed, it was relevant. But over time, maybe certain developments might not make that issue so big an issue anymore. And therefore, it calls for the program developers to look into the system and to see how they adjust the program to meet contemporary needs. So that is when somebody might say that, oh, the program has become outdated and all that. But I am of the view that the program, irrespective of how old it is, still has in it a lot of fundamental principles that are good for the training of an individual. So the fact that certain developments in society now are challenging the relevancy of that program does not make it completely useless. Okay, so it is up to the university to review it. In fact, universities know this. So every university worth its salt always has a policy on curricular review cycle.
Okay.
So there is no university that says that I have a curriculum and it will be there forever. Every university has a timeline for revising particular curriculum. And it's also dependent on the program.
Okay.
Certain programs change very fast. And some programs are quite slow in the way they change. Take a program like history.
Yes.
It will take a long time for any significant historical changes to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
But when you take a program like biochemistry or virology, when you are studying viruses, and when you are doing things that have to do with medicine, there are a lot of fast-changing things in the system, new findings and all that challenge the field. When we had COVID-19, you realize that we had a particular strain of the virus within a period of time. And within a short time, that virus got mutated and into something else. When the world thought that it was having solution for one, another evolved. And it made whatever equipment that was being used to detect the other irrelevant. So it had to create a new one. So when there are so many changes in the system, it means the curriculum also needs to be changed to respond to such changes, so that when the student is trained and the student comes into the world of work, the person can confront the challenges that are in society. And of course, we train students to come into society to help confront the problems we have, not just for today, but also for tomorrow. That's why the theories around the programs are very important. You see, so it's the theories that actually equip the person to be prepared for anything that would emerge. But the argument has always been that train students to fit into industry. We believe in that. Okay. But the person fits into industry to tackle a particular problem. Tomorrow another problem will come. How equipped is the person to tackle the emerging issues? So university education is not only for today's problems, but for tomorrow also as well. If you want training that address just today's problems, then you'll be looking at the technical universities. But even in the technical universities, at the basic level of training, that's at the higher national diploma, the training is very specific. As they move into the Bachelor of Technology, it expands to include some theories. And as they go into the MTech and DTech, it expands further to include more theories. This is so that they will be able to tackle emerging challenges as well.
So please, I think you made mention of the fact that universities have a period of time where curriculums are changed. Now when it comes to curriculum development, what goes into it and how periodic or how fast does the curriculum change? Okay,
so what goes into a curriculum development is the set of experiences you want to give to the learner to be able to confront a particular challenge in society. So those then will form the content. The next one is the pedagogy. That is the art and the science of teaching. Now, you might have a very rich curriculum in terms of content, but if the science for the delivery is bad, the student will still not get the best out of it.
That's true.
And of course, the character that stands in front of the students will also deliver. That's the teacher.
That's true.
If the teacher also is not a good one, and it is dependent on how we are made as individuals. You might be very knowledgeable, but transferring your knowledge might be a difficulty for you.
That's true.
So if you don't have a very good teacher, so from where I come from, when we are into education regulation, we just don't look at the content. We look at the content. We look at the pedagogy, and then also we look at the teacher, the person's qualification. But day-to-day delivery of the teacher in the classroom, we wouldn't be there. It will be the institution to monitor to see whether the teacher is giving up his best. And of course, and then so you realize that at the university level, students are made to evaluate the program content over time. How do you think the various courses help you? Do you think they are relevant or irrelevant? Students are given a form to fill. I don't know whether you had that experience when you were in school.
We did.
Yes. And then also the teachers.
Yeah.
How do you see this teacher? Do you think he's up to the task and all that? So occasionally, students help in evaluating the content and also the teacher and also the techniques for delivery. And the feedback that is gotten from students is built into redesigning the program at the next stage of development. Of course. So, and I think that globally, what appears to be the standard is that almost every 5 years,
there is a
there is a need to make a conscious effort to want to have a second look at the program. You know, whether it is a fast evolving program or it's a slow evolving program. At most 5 years, because the world is fast changing. So you have to look at it. But for some programs, we encourage institutions to have them to have a second look at the program every 3 years. If after 3 years you think that circumstances require that you have a look at this program and submit it again for scrutiny by the regulator, you can do that. And the regulator will be happy to come in to help you.
All right. So I'll come to you, Esther. So a 2023 study published by Higher Education Policy emphasizes that African higher education curriculum must be continuously reviewed to meet societal needs. I mean, as a student who, finished Unimark, studied communication, journalism, do you think, whatever you learned when it comes to the classroom actually reflects or helped you when you go to the job market? You didn't find it difficult in trying to align what was taught in the classroom to your experiences that is needed on the job market?
Absolutely. I would side with Mr. Dazi. So when we talk about the theories that, we are being taught, they are the foundation for any practical lesson or anything that you're going to learn on the field. With that in mind, I would say that when I came onto the industry, into the field, I just had to have that foundation that can be built on with the, because for media, there's a standard, but sometimes there are dynamics to it, and there are different places you find yourself. And so, yes, it was just an add-on that you get to learn maybe the recent trends when it comes to maybe TV production or hosting or podcast or all those things. So the theories are important. They give us the foundation, the base for the knowledge that we're going to acquire, and it helps us navigate easily on the field.
All right. So would you want to add something?
Yes, and then a bit of the previous question about the bureaucratic process and bringing in new curriculums. Currently, we are running a project, the Universal Acceptance Project with ICANN, and it's been very difficult getting institutions to accept to introduce it into their computer science curricula. We've been having discussions with universities across Africa, our member universities, to introduce UA into their computer science. Basically, UA ensures that all local languages, the scripts, so you want to go to google.com or you want to go to Tonaton, right? Tonaton is supposed to be Tornaton, but because the O is not, you can't type the O, so you're having to use an O. But UA ensures that you can use an O. But now the project wants to have this taught in schools, but getting institutions to buy it and then introduce it has been very difficult. So now what some institutions are doing is that instead of running a new program, they are introducing pieces and bits of it into their existing curricula, just to bypass all those bureaucratic steps in bringing a new curriculum. So that's what.
I think I would side with him because in our time, we didn't have things like court reporting. We didn't have certain, PR and marketing merged. But now I think the industry is demanding that people in PR should have marketable skills or have that qualification. So you find that Unimark is trying to put that together. So they now have courses for court reporting because at that time, I think court reporting, you just had to learn on the job. But court reporting is a different type of journalism you have to do all together. And so the institutions have tried to add it to the curriculum, not to change it entirely, but to add bits and pieces to make sure that the students are equipped enough for what the industry or the market is demanding.
All right, thank you. So we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Stay tuned. Hello Africa is your live breakfast show delivering informative, entertaining, and energizing start to your day.
Our expert reviews break down the headlines and help you make sense of today's news.
We bring you nothing but the most interesting highlights on our top African stories.
Plus lifestyle features, inspiring interviews, and the best on the continent.
Every episode is packed with stories that inform, inspire, and celebrate the spirit of the continent.
Catch us live every Monday at 9 a.m.
And be part of the conversation on our social media platforms.
Hello Africa, bringing the continent to your morning.
Welcome back from the break, and if you just joined us, this is African Student Voices on AAU TV, and of course we are discussing our dated curriculum in the various universities and how it affects the demand on the job market. And we've been having an interesting conversation, and we just want to continue. Well, welcome back from the break.
Thank you.
So before the break, we were talking about how theoretical and how practical some of the courses are, and the fact that we equally need the theoretical aspect of the course to set foundations for us when we get into the job market. But I would want to come to you, Mr. Dazi. What are some of the biggest barriers universities face or you face when you're trying to review curriculum?
Well, I wouldn't call them barriers, but they are quality assurance mechanisms put in place by the university itself to scrutinize, the curriculum development. So in every curriculum development, it will start with a particular department. And sometimes even an individual that comes up with an idea. Seeing the challenges in the system, I think we as a university, we have to mount a course or a program in this area. Then that concept is sold to the head of department. If he finds merits in that, he constitutes a small committee of about 3. Go and put something together and bring it, So, and they'll go and put, just a framework of the curriculum together and then submit it to the department. Now, the department will look at what has been drafted at a departmental board. So departmental board will look at it. They also make further input. They might even invite people from industry to come and have, when the departmental board has looked at it, they think that, oh, this is good, but we need some industry perspective on this. They would invite people from industry, expand it further, have a small workshop done, to get industry input. Now, when the departmental board is happy with it, it moves to a faculty board. The draft then moves from the department to the faculty. The faculty then, it means that, there's stakeholders that are going to have expanded. They also look at it, scrutinize it, and then when they also think that it's okay, then it moves to academic board. So it is academic board that would approve that document. And when academic board approves it, then it goes to their quality assurance officer, who then needs to apply for accreditation from the regulator, external regulator. Now, within the institution, they have cleared the program as good enough to go. But then it comes to the regulator, who also then will look for assessors from all over the world, wherever they can find the assessors, to come and assess the program. And they will fix their own time. Sometimes you identify assessors, and you want the best of people to go and assess. So you look into the field and say, who is an authority in this field? It must be Professor A, Professor B, or, Then you invite these people. When you invite them, somebody will say that this date is not good for me. It can happen only next year, January. you know. So all these discussions will happen behind the scenes. So you would discuss that until those 3 or 4 or 5 experts you have identified would agree on a common timing to go for the exercise.
Okay.
And when the time is due, you only always pray that nothing crosses their way, everybody remains faithful, you know. So when the time is up, they come, and then we organize the accreditation exercise for them to visit the university, sit with the team that put the document together at the university, and then they crossbreed ideas over the document. So the external people will bring their perspective to the table as far as the program is concerned. The team that put it together would also say that, well, we didn't consider this because of A, B, C. And we said, no, in the present circumstance, we cannot run a program like this without court reporting or something. You get what I mean? Or introducing some AI or something. So that discussion happens. And then the things that are agreed upon in common as being gaps are captured and sent back to the institution to address before the program can even be tabled before the accreditation committee to look at. So the institution also takes time to address those. Sometimes it's the quality of staff that you are proposing to run the program. And if we say that you need senior lecturers to lead the thing as a head, and you don't have a senior lecturer, the institution, you have to look for one. And sometimes the institution spends about 5 months, 6 months looking for a senior lecturer who would accept to come on board before he's listed. You know, and that until all those things are said, the document doesn't come before the committee to look at. And then when the committee looks at, maybe at the level of committee discussion, something also comes up again. And then when the team visited the institution, it's not only the curriculum content. The reason for the visit to the institution, of course, is for this peer review exercise to happen, but also to relate the content of the curriculum to the facilities available to run. So if this program will require a laboratory, if it's language and you need a language lab, you go there, you look at the setup, you say that you don't have this, you don't have a recorder, you don't have this one, then the institution needs to find it. If you don't have a lab, you have to spend time to build a lab before you come for. So then that becomes a deficiency, and the deficiencies are categorized into critical and non-critical. The non-critical ones, you could be passed for accreditation whilst we monitor that you get those things fixed over time. So these are the things that usually cause some of the delays. So, and they are not really impediments, but they're actually quality assurance mechanisms to ensure that what is put out there is of quality.
All right, let me come to you. So I think in the beginning of our conversation, you made mention of the fact that your master's program was more based practical. Theoretical. So now let's talk about how, per a student, where you sit as a student, what practicality would you have want to experience when it comes to the course you study?
So it depends on the program you are offering. Let's say you are offering a program in forensics. Obviously, you will need a lab with all the forensic devices there for you to practice with. Because then if you are just in the classroom, you do this, you do that, you do this, and you don't have that practical feel. If you go on the job market, you might falter for a bit, and it might affect your output. But once there are labs available to suit the program you are offering, it will really help students to get that practical feel of it. If person studies networking and there are no routers or no switches for the person to practice, how can the person, well, you can do it on a packet tracer, which is a software, but that is not the same as having that practical feel, experience on it. So maybe institutions may have to perhaps invest more in their practical, the practical aspects of it. And the point that Mr. Nazi raised, the time involved in this, by the time it is passed, I'm sure a new program has come.
A new development.
It usually takes 6 months or 1 year. You know, depending on how prepared the institution. Some institutions are in a hurry to mount a program, knowing very well that they are not very prepared for it. I know of one university that introduced a program, engineering program. Apparently, they didn't have a lab. They didn't have, how can you, a workshop for engineering, you need a lab, for the basic sciences, and you need a workshop where you go and actually have a feel of. They had none, and yet they had brought the document for accreditation. You see, so you go through the exercise, then you send a team to visit the institution. The team would visit the institution only to realize that, because when it comes to, okay, so how are you going to deliver? So there will be practical component. That's when the institution is communicating its pedagogy or the science of teaching and learning. So this one will do it in the lab, and okay, so where is your lab?
Then
no lab.
There's no lab.
Where's your workshop? No workshop. Then, so then you stop this and say, go and put your workshop and all that in place. So some will take 1 year, 2 years, and they don't even have the money. They are now going to raise the money.
That takes a long time.
So
Okay, let me come to you, Esther. In as much as we know that theories are good for foundation, what does a practical course look like for you? I mean, when it comes to your field of work.
So I would say the only gap I experienced when I was in school is that Unimac at that time was limited to just radio production, and so they had the studio for radio and all that, and unless you just want to go learn, there was really nothing to push you there, or maybe a lecturer to say, okay, this is by force, you have to go to the studio to go and practice or do a story. But on the field, you have to do TV production, you have to sort of, now social media is the thing. So how you produce for social media will be different from how you produce for normal television. For social media, you have to know that there are copyrights and all that, so it means you can't take someone's work. For TV, you can actually use someone's work without having to deal with those copyright issues. So the gap is that they gave us some practical training, but it was limited to what you have to study on the field.
Okay. Mr. Dazi, please let me come to you. I know that in as much as the universities and the authorities are playing their roles, there are roles that employees, or let me say industry players, should equally play when it comes to shaping the thought and the minds of the graduates or the universities that we have. What do you think, from where you sit, what do you think employers and, the industry players can do to support the universities and equally the students or the graduates that they find in their workplaces?
Okay, so industries can do a lot, and we always encourage universities to go into partnerships as much as possible, because universities exist to design products that industry buy and sell. You see, so if you have any serious economy, you would get industries approaching universities and challenging them with a problem that they seek solutions for. Then the universities will give them to students as projects. Students will work on them as projects and come up with some form of solution, which is then further developed and then given back to industry. So when industry has a challenge and approaches university, and the university lacks the resources to do it, sometimes the industries themselves even help in setting up laboratories and all that for the university to enable them to do research. You see, but in our part of the world, you find industries rather sitting on the fence and attacking universities. They are not approaching universities with any problem to help in finding solutions for. And when universities have trained students and the students are out there, they accuse universities of not having equipped the students well enough to come into the field. We agree that university education is not a technical education. It's not always a technical education. That's why you have 70% theory and 30% practical. Of course, though you are being given the theories, you also have to appreciate practically what it is that you're going to do. Unless we are talking about some programs that you call the professional programs, like medicine. That's why somebody will spend 7 years to do medicine, and somebody will spend 4 years at the first degree. Medicine, 7 years is first degree.
Yes, that's true.
Somebody will do doctor or pharmacy, it's 6 years or so, but that's also first degree. And somebody will do 4 years for, for biochemistry, because you're not called biochemist as a professional thing, because it doesn't have a direct interface with the individuals on the field. So university education is not technical education. So the person that is coming to the field to work is been equipped with lots of theories and principles, and requires that if industry hires this person for a specific thing, industry must also spend a little to build the person's capacity in that. The fact that the person has a first degree means that the person is trainable. So if you want to train this person, it will take you long to train, but industries are slow. They don't want to invest further in training. So bring the person to me ready-made to cure this. The person might have been taught with certain set of equipment, and you have a completely different set of, probably your equipment, they might be doing the same thing. But probably I'm not used to handling the kind of equipment that you have. Why don't you give me some training through workshops and things like that, mentorship, coaching, for me to be able to pick up and master that thing. So industries should do well to approach universities with problems for product design and development, and they should also be prepared to invest a little in training the products from the universities. And they should be slow in criticizing, that universities are not, because we encourage, from the regulator end, we encourage universities to involve industry in the design of their programs, so that it will help reduce this industry-university gap. So at the level of program design, if industry is involved, industry will let the university know their challenge, and it will help inform the design of the curriculum. So and then it would also inform the pedagogy, that's the science of teaching and learning, so that by the time the student comes up, the gap between industry and wouldn't be too big. It's closed, and then they wouldn't have to spend a lot more resources in training the student.
Thank you very much. So let me come to you. With rapid changes like, AI and digital transformation, how urgent do you think this AI should be incorporated in our curriculum? In the things we learn in the classroom?
Very, very urgent. Like, there are not just AI, there are many emerging courses available, machine learning, AI, all kinds of courses. And then things are fast improving. In 6 months, there's new technology. So institutions must find a way to adapt, include students in the fast developing courses that are coming. Like, I keep referring to the universal acceptance. Studies suggest that it's like a $10 billion industry in the next 10 to 15 years. If students are not taught this, they are losing out on potential job market. If you're a programmer in the next 5 years from Africa, let's say you need to put together a website on African culture. However, you need to inculcate some African scripts inside, but you don't know how to inculcate those scripts. But this universal acceptance teaches you how to do that. If you don't study it, how do you get the opportunity to present that to the world?
So for you, it goes way more than just the AI.
Yes, there are amazing trends that institutions need to consider.
Esther, what do you think?
It should be implemented like yesterday. Like yesterday, because of AI, every second there's something new coming up. Every day there are new ways, different models of AI that are being used to do different kinds of things. For journalists or media people, we have softwares that can help you do stuff easily. For maybe medicine students, they have maybe a database that you can go, an AI database that can help you do your reading. There's AI that can help you do thesis. Like, there's so many things that AI is doing right now, and universities should just accept it, because whether they like it or not, it has come to stay. You cannot fight it, so they should just accept it and find ways and means of regulating, if they have to regulate, to see how it can help, fast track development in our educational system.
Mr. Dazi, I think you will sum it up for us when it comes to the AI incorporation into our curriculum.
Yes. In fact, AI is a wonderful tool, and you cannot do without it.
Okay.
But it should also not replace,
Mm-hmm.
our structured way of learning and all that, because it's a tool.
Yes.
But what we are seeing increasingly is that we are allowing AI to replace what human beings need to do, and that is worrying. Now, you have a lot of students who, instead of spending time to do their homework, giving this to AI to give them the solution. So very soon we might end up having university graduates that have nothing in the head because they have always given AI the opportunity to do their work for them. And I say that, as I indicated earlier, that university training is not just to address today's problems, but tomorrow's emerging challenges that you have no idea of. Human setting is so complex, and you cannot predict the next challenge that will come your way.
Yes.
So allow the mind, the brain, to be well developed to confront emerging challenges. So the way our youth now using AI is scary. In fact, not only in Ghana, but in the US, some professors have felt so frustrated that they even went on demonstration.
Oh, okay.
Professors going on demonstration against students' use of AI. So I think there's an urgent call on us to have proper policies in place, a policy on AI that would encourage students how to use AI responsibly and to develop themselves also along the line. And now they are using AI to write theses and all those. I'm looking forward to the IT people come up with something that will also help us to detect theses that have been AI generated.
Well, I think there are some,
we had the AU had a workshop last year.
Yeah, sure.
And then one of the facilitators spoke about behavior.
Yes.
So he proposed a solution where professors can, based on several assignments, you're still using AI.
Yes.
Like draft the pattern of answers students give to be able to determine the final output of an assignment. So you're able to tell whether it's AI or
yes. So AI is very good. We shouldn't. In fact, they are very helpful tools for people in industry who are always already working. And if you are working and have a challenge and you have this, you're not now going to go to the library to spend a whole lot of time. So to make good use of the time at your disposal. When you fall on AI, it makes life easier for you. But the students that are being trained, we should regulate how they use AI responsibly.
Okay, so we are obviously coming to the end of our discussion. But before we go, briefly, everyone, what is one practical change universities should implement immediately? Sula, I'll start with you.
Mine will be how they introduce new curricula. The time it takes forever for new courses to be introduced. There should be a way to limit the time it takes to introduce a new curriculum. Yes. So adapt to the emerging trends available.
All right. Yes. Esther, please, what would that be briefly?
I would say when it comes to AI and having to have all these talks about how students are misusing AI, I came across this research article from the University World News where they were saying that, okay, you can't actually stop the students from using AI to give you AI written thesis or work. But what you can do is try to find the thinking pattern of the student. So you give them you give them an assignment, and practically they should be able to demonstrate how they were able to come out with the solution at the end of the day. If they have to do presentation, not just write a question and answers, but practically what can they do? They have to do presentation. They have to defend the work that they have produced and others. I think with that given, we'll have regulations around it.
All right. So, Mr. Dazi, we'll wrap up with you.
Okay. So I think briefly what we should be doing in the context of AI, universities must have policies on AI.
Okay.
To regulate how students use
AI.
One, to educate the students as well. I was at EU forum on quality assurance.
Okay.
Last year in March, at the University of Twente in the Netherlands.
Okay.
And it was a big discussion. And the students came out to say that, well, you keep accusing us for using, because AI. Students were represented, for using AI and all that, but you haven't given us any guidance as to how well we should use this. And then, so the universities that were met there, or the quality assurance regulators that were there, they felt a bit guilty, and they took it up as a challenge to have institution-level policies to help students, to educate the students, and also to guide them as to how to use AI responsibly. And having said that, universities must be responsible in doing that. We as the regulator also must guide the universities how to. So everybody has a challenge to deal with.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. So it's been an amazing conversation. This has been African Student Voices, and we discussed outdated curriculum in universities and how it affects the demands of the job market. My name is Jemima Deladem Doche. Don't forget to follow the conversation on our social media handles, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube. Have a nice day.